Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Sean Carlson from Blackjack 98 Enterprises. I came up with an idea that I thought hard on, and I wanted to showcase everybody how exactly it works. So I'm going to take the camera over there and show you all the parts and pieces that I had to deal with. So this cable that you can see right here represents our Beta Maxial 3/16 inch. What I want to do is I want to lubricate this cable in such a way that you don't have to keep doing it by hand when you're re-spooling the drum. So just with these here parts and pieces, I came up with an idea to put this all together. The idea is there is holes in the cup for the cable to go through, and the cable just goes through there. You fill it up with the grease or the oil that you have, and you have the cup suspended by elastic band or whatever have you, and it sits there, and as the hoist goes up or down, the cable gets lubricated automatically without it ever leaking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assemble this together just so you guys have an idea of what it looks like when how it's supposed to work, but I designed it. So bear with me. I'm gonna take my jacket off. It's freaking hot. Oh, okay, so the way this cup fits onto this cable is I went and put slits into it. So that way you can just open up the slits like that, and the cable goes through into the hole that I cut for it. It might seem a little finicky, but this is a test trial. There we go. See that? Now, this other cup here does have a slit in the same way. However, this cup goes into this one here, like right on top. They overlap into each other, they interlock. First off, I want to put these sponges in. These sponges are what is going to prevent the oil or the grease from leaking out the bottom. They too have slits. If you can see that, they have slits. You put the slit over that, and you just tuck it into the cup. This one here has a hole in it. The other one did not have a hole. This one has a hole. So this one goes into there as well, just like that. Now you take this cup and you put it over top. Now, because these cups have two slits in them, the idea is that when you put this cup inside the other one, the idea is this top cup acts as a seal to the bottom cup and prevents that gap from opening and leaking everywhere. So like I said, this is just a test trial. So there probably could be a better way that I could do this. This is my first design phase, so there we go. So I'm going to alternate the slits. So instead of having them together like that, I'm going to put them 180 degrees apart. And then I'm going to pat down the sponges that are in there. Okay, now the idea is the pink one, if you can see at the outside cup, holds the gap together on the inside cup. And the way that I do that is a piece of wire. This piece of wire and a couple of hair bands. Now, like I said, beginner phases. So this wire goes over top of this slit here, like that. The hairband goes around the hooks of that, and we slide it up, just like that. Okay, now that part is done. Now you can pour the oil into that, and then pour the lids. Now I got two lids here with slits in them. These two have slits in them, so because the crack is on this side, on the top one, we're going to put the slit so that way it's on this. So we're going to alternate the slits. All right? And we're going to shut the lid just regularly. Okay, there. So now what that does is that creates the tight seal of the inside cup that is guaranteed by the outside cup. Now, the bigger sponge right here has a slit in it too. We're going to put that one 90 degrees to the top one, and then the second lid goes on top of this one 180 degrees to the other slit. Okay, now, so the top lid squishes the sponge to the bottom lid. And you might be thinking, how do I do that? Well, we're going to use the other headband. And we're just going to reach over top of that, go over on top of the other hook, and just like that. Okay, so I'm going to grab that camera now and show you guys how it looks. Okay, so here it is. This is what it looks like on the bottom. So inside here is the sponges. There's two sponges. One with a hole, one without a hole. The idea is when you put the oil, like this stuff here, this is not the oil that you use to grease your cable with. I just bought this for experimental phases. It gets poured into there without the lids. The oil goes up to about, let's just say here, okay? The oil goes into there and the gravitational forces pull it down. All right, so it goes down through the hole that is in both cups, but it passes through a set of sponges. So that way it does not leak at the bottom there. Now, I'm gonna put the camera back down and I want to show everybody the movement that is supposed to happen. I'm gonna bring back, so there you can see that. I hope you can hear me from that far distance. So, when this is full, it doesn't exactly sit like that. With over 100 uses, it'll probably wear and tear. So the idea is that this fits on the Beta Max, and there's a rung here, and there's a rung here. So what I'm going to do, and this is the track, right, the Beta Max track. So what the idea is to secure this cup by tying it to either the rungs or the track in a safe way that's not going to mark up the track or damage it. And so if I'm going to slide this cup up and down, that's going to imitate the motion of the cable. So it's going to go up, it's going to go down. Okay, so the cable goes up and down, and as it does that, when it's going up, let's say that the cable, okay, so let's say the cable is going down, there's a downward motion. This is stationary. So the liquid is getting onto the cable and is going, seeping up. At the same time, the gravitational forces are pulling down on the oil. Because of the motion of the cable, it is sucking the oil up that's attached to the cable. Now that is what that top sponge is for. That top sponge is to wipe the excess oil off of that cable as it goes up here. So when the cable is going down, the lubrication of the cable is going up in the exact same opposite way when the cable is going up. So if the cable now is going up, then what that means is, oh, wait a minute, well, frick. I probably got to do this again, but you get the idea. When it greases the cable as the cable is going up and down, and the sponges wipe away the excess gear that is going to spill. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the oil into this part here, and we're going to see how well it works. Put the clip back onto here. Like that. I'm going to take the lid, I'm going to put the lid up. Pop that off just like that. Okay. Now I'm going to put in just a little bit of oil. I'm going to fill it up to right around there. Like I said, make sure that the slits on the cup are at the opposite ends of each other when you're putting this together. Okay, now I'm going to grab that camera there and I'm going to show you all the up-close version of it. Okay, so here we go. The oil is in there, as you can see, right? I'm going to lift it up a bit. And, oh, you probably can't see it with this camera. I need a better camera for focus. But it's not leaking. Those sponges are preventing the leak, but the oil is being soaked into those sponges. And there is no leak whatsoever. Nothing's dripping down. My idea is holding exactly as I thought it would. So let's see, it's going up. It's going down. I'm going to get rid of that clip here. Hold on. I got rid of the clip. It goes down. So as you can see on top there, you probably can see the beads of oil. I don't know if you can. It goes like that, like this, like that, this, that, this, that. Now, if we look at the bottom, it's oiling. Okay? It's oiling. It's doing its thing. It's automatically oiling. Okay, well, there's a little bit of a drip. No big deal. Okay, I'm going to put my clip back onto this. And I'm going to put it back. Okay, so everybody, that was my idea that I came up with for greasing our Beta Max hoist. And so far, it's proving to be pretty good. I like it. What I think I could do is I could probably put in another sponge. What I think I could do is find a better way to grab this so that way it holds this part here tight. I'm thinking maybe you know, one of those, not those bungee cords, but the Velcro strips. You can grab that, put a Velcro strip on it. And it's starting to leak just a little bit here. It's not a whole lot. It's one drip every 3 seconds. So I used 530 oil for this experiment. What you're supposed to use for greasing the hoist is a 95 weight gear oil. So a gear oil, I figure, would be a lot thicker. If it was a lot thicker, it probably would not drip like it is right there a whole lot, or I could just come up with a better design. I could probably secure it right here too with this idea up top. I could probably put a big secure on the bottom here too to clamp it. So that way there is no leakage coming from the cup. So that is the idea, ladies and gentlemen, that I came up with for the place of employment of which I work. I'm very happy to share this idea with those that are interested in seeing this idea. It is a self-lubricating idea for the Beta Maxial hoist. You put your grease into there and it goes, the cable goes up and down through the cup and automatically greases it. And when I feel this part here, it's nice and oily. When I feel this part here, it is just as oily. So therefore, I feel this would be a good idea to use on the hoists of which we use and work at. Pardon me if my stuttering and my English are not so good for you to understand. This is an experimental video which I will watch entirely. If you're watching this video, that means I approved how it is that I delivered this. This is an idea that I wanted to bring up to you guys, and this is an idea that I'm going to try at work soon. I just need to fix this idea here. And as far as I'm concerned, this works for me, and I'm going to go with it. So I'm not looking for any negative comments about this. If you can't say anything nice at all, I definitely do not want to hear one bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut the camera off, everybody. I'm going to take off my setup, and that will be that. Thank you. My name is Sean Carlson from Blackjack 98 Enterprises. Have a good night.